Hello everyone and welcome to our coverage of the pro stage here from EWS Crans-Montana. My name's Rick McLaughlin and joining me today is Josh Carlson. We are on Le Moir Toxique Stage 1, which will be rerun as Stage 5, 4.25 kilometres, a vertical drop of 765 metres. A tale of two halves, Josh, this one. Flat out, choppy bike park up the top, then super steep technical lower down.
Super physical today, treacherous conditions with the snow, something none of us predicted or was prepared for this weekend. So it was a lot going on for the riders, a lot of stress prior.
Here we are running the stage the full length. Third fastest time today went to Ella Connolly with an 8-minute 3-second run. Fourth in the overall, Ella. Season of what could have been, really. She won that first race at EWS Tweed Valley and coming back from injury, and you see clearly, easily clearing these jumps right up at the top of this course, and you can see just how beaten up this place is, but in a really, really good way.
That's right, the snow up the top here has really packed down the dry, loose dirt, which is treacherous for these riders to try and navigate. She's coming off a huge injury in the middle of the season, and of course it's inside there.
Inside there, yeah.
That is loose.
You can see how deep those the marbles on the inside are as well.
And they are huge. There's big rocks on the insides of these berms. There's back-to-back berms the entire way down this track, and it really adds up the more and more you cut the corner or you open the corner or you exit the corner. It's really where it's running.
There is the top of that climb, an absolute heartbreaker of a climb. You come up that fire road and now the stage changes completely into these steep, dusty woods. This section, front end wanting nothing to do with that.
Big huckabuck through there. Now, dropping off that fire road, there is a bit of altitude here, which is just enough to make you feel even more cross-eyed and not recover.
Down into the town of Crans-Montana.
By the time we raced, most of the snow had actually cleared, so it was kind of wet up top, and then down the bottom was like loamy, and nothing had ever happened, but you could really feel like the altitude and cold when you're trying to sprint.
Here we are then, second fastest time today, Isabeau Courdurier for the Lapierre Zip Collective. Isabeau, I mean, you and I both stood in front of a camera in Valberg and said that we probably wouldn't see her again, and here she is closing in on another title.
Literally a hole straight through her foot. Looks like that wolf tattoo is having a cigar, and she's back here racing competitive and absolutely killing it. It's been a huge effort to make it back to this race after the North American block, and she's back on the podium in fine form.
We have a big interview coming up next week with Sam Hill, and he mentioned in that about winning titles the tough way. I don't think an EWS title, if Isabeau can close this one out, has ever been won in tougher circumstances.
And with such a drawn-out season and so much varied conditions, like look at this race we've had here. It's literally been snowing all morning, and these riders have had to navigate these treacherous conditions we've never seen before. Well, maybe a few years ago.
You can see how dry it is once you get lower down and out of that snow line. It's actually perfect looking.
Which is super confusing, because these guys would have seen it loose, wet, and terrifying in practice, and now it's almost hero dirt.
Josh, you raced earlier in the week in the EWSC. Difficult place to set a bike up for, I'd imagine.
Very difficult, yeah, with the high speeds, and especially coming into these lower bike park sections. You want a bit of a firmer bike to get the support. You go and get a much higher pace to some of the alpine higher tracks that you see in this weekend's race, and again, with the changing conditions, with the rain, with the snow, with the braking bumps, with the berms, with all these jumps in particular, it's a very difficult scenario to set your bike up properly, quickly, and efficiently.
Yeah, Isabeau, we saw her in that last block in North America. We thought she'd really, really struggled. Look, here's this climb now. Watch her just tap the power on before it tips down into the woods. Now, yet in that North American block, we thought she'd struggle. A 4th, a 7th, and a win out of 3 races. That's how you win titles.
But as a struggle for Isabeau, that's a really great performance. She was definitely had it against her, coming through with a hole in her foot a couple of weeks prior.
Here's this big section now that's taken a few of the big names out over the years.
Look at it. Does it with ease. Smooth through there. That's a very technical section that is a massive drop. That's hard to really showcase on telly. And this section here, with the rain, with the e-bike race, with the other races prior, it was torn apart and quite treacherous.
You can see just how loose and duffy this lower bit is as well. It's stay dry, it's in the trees, and then you sort of exit here and then it's full gas back into the town. Couple of big jumps before you hit the finish line. This bit's super steep.
And that bit in particular right there is super chewed out compared to years past. It's a blind crest off this bridge, which was terrifying to a lot of riders, going from asphalt to a wooden rubber bridge in the rain.
That gap over the river. And here's the gap down into past the tourism office on your right, up on this massive bridge that they built for this year's race.
Now this is a lot harder than it looks. It's quite a simple bridge, but this particular corner right here into the finish line, you can easily catch your bars on the finish.
Big jump down there to the right-hand side as well. Isabeau crossed the line today, then 3.96 seconds back.
Now it's actually quite good. It's very grippy. Just it's so physical. You have to push and pedal everywhere. So with the altitude, it's quite tough to manage. But other than that, I think conditions are quite good. I hope it'll stay like this and we don't have too much rain this night.
Here we are then, fastest time today. Harriet Harnden put 4 seconds into the chasing pack on this one with a 7:51.2. The British rider just so dominant. And it seems at the end of seasons, Josh, as well. We saw this last year from her as well.
Yeah, I think she's bringing a new level to the women's field. Like, she's got that cross-country World Cup fitness, which is abnormal for most, and she's really bringing it to the enduro scene with a long physical stage here. It may not be that technical, but all these corners, all these sprints back-to-back, there's 2 massive sprints in this stage.
Yeah, she sat some rounds out with injury, but I mean, she's done enough racing in her career, Harriet, to understand that, you know, rest is best, and she's come back here and won the pro stage straight off the bat and put herself in pole position for tomorrow.
And she's come off a positive and a very encouraging...
And there is the rider in front of her, ALN, that she looks to have got past on that climb, just throwing watt bombs everywhere. And then, she actually went down super hard in that section last year, so really, really impressive.
Good recovery, yeah. It's a bummer to see ALN come down with a flat tyre from the very top there, but Harriet put in a great run all the way to the finish.
There we go, today's winner. Let's hear from her now.
Oh, actually buzzing. I wasn't sure how I was going to be coming back from my injury, but yeah, it seems like I didn't lose much, and the rest obviously did me a lot of good. Yeah, it allows me to know that I'm in the right place, and yeah, it's a good way to start things off.
There are your results then. Harnden fastest today, Courdurier second, Ella Connolly in third place, followed home by Shar, Karem, Bauman up in sixth. A great result for her. Here we are then, your 3 fastest men today. Third fastest, the man with the yellow plate leading the championship, Jesse Melamed with a 6:58 today. Josh, maybe not the run he would have wanted, but not in a bad position either.
But he made it down. He come down with he had a bit of a mistake, got a great run overall, and considering how much pressure is on his shoulders coming into these last 2 weekends, I think this was a great, solid start for Jesse heading into tomorrow's 4 stages ahead of him.
We caught up to him at the end of the race, and he said there was a slight crash in here somewhere where he twisted his bars and, but third fastest, and he's only lost 4 seconds. Look at the speed of Melamed through there. Whoa!
Who needs a berm when you can just go straight? Jesse Melamed on one. He had a hugie at the bottom where his twisted bars almost threw him straight over them. But to come through in third, like you said, Rick, it's a fantastic effort, and it's a great start to the weekend for our championship leader.
Now, Melamed as well, I mean...
Look at that cheering there. That definitely got him over the line.
Strange that we should see you there on screen, Josh, when you're sat here beside me. But there goes Melamed through that gully section, making short work of it down to the line. 6:58, as I say.
Way harder than I remembered. It's been a long time since we've done like a race effort. We're at altitude, which I'm also not used to, so it's just straight into like full-on racing, and had a bit of a crash at the bottom and twisted my bars. So I had to ride with my bars twisted for like the last minute, which was a bummer, but did well, so pretty stoked.
Now, Martin Maes, your second fastest time today with a 6:56. Worth pointing out before we move to Martin that Jesse's championship rival, Richie Rood, down in 10th today, so first blood definitely to Melamed at this round, but let's just watch Maes up here. Absolutely poetry in motion.
This is a great run from Martin. He's definitely had a bit of a battle this season, and he's been coming back into form towards the second half, and this run in particular shows that he is here to fight, he is back on pace, and he is one to watch this weekend here in Crans-Montana.
Super windy up the top here, I know that because I was stood up there putting cameras on people, but like, you see how quickly it dried out as well after that snow. Really made the difference.
The snow would have made these track a lot rougher. That extra moisture in the ground, all the riders going down the track a little bit slower today would have created a lot more braking bumps, a lot more holes, and it would have been just added to the diverse terrain these riders have got to deal with coming into this race run.
This section in particular I find fascinating because it is bike park. It's made for, it squeaks around there. It's made for, people enjoying it, trail speed. It's not made for race speed like these EWS stars can throw at it, and that in itself presents a big challenge. Big
time. And the back-to-back corners, opening them up every single corner and being focused, being fast and controlled really adds up. When there's 150 corners on the track, if you're 100th of a second faster in every corner, that's a big gap come the bottom.
Maes now making short work. He's into the trees, and this is where this stage comes alive. Absolutely one of my favourite on the circuit. Not this bit necessarily, but are we going to see you in a second? Are you going to be loitering around up here again?
I was definitely lurking around this bit. I knew this bit hurts. I know this bit hurts because it hurt a lot in my race run, and this particular section is a key part of this entire stage.
Just checking the watch there. Now Maes tips in, I should say, to the bottom section here, and you can see just how dusty and blown out, but one of my favourite sections of the Enduro World Series all year. This Salad Vert, it's called through here. It means green salad, Josh, if you're confused.
Salad's not my friend, but this entire section is great, and this whole bit is so loamy and loose. Even after the rain, it stayed dry, it stayed loose, and the riders were totally able to attack this entire section into the lower woods. There was plenty of spectators up there today, which is great to see. And for this whole section, once they get through here, they can take a breath, and it's reasonably simple to get to the finish, but you're already cross-eyed at this stage.
Yeah, the Valais section, the Valais region, I should say, in Switzerland, really famed for its dry climate, and top of the stage today, 2,250 meters. Let's just watch Maes down to the line. We head up this bridge now.
Almost got taken out by the bunting.
A little bit of time lost there, Josh, maybe as well, and then big fly-off jump down to the line. Not a problem for the Belgian. Crosses the line in second place.
Yeah, feeling good. Conditions were quite extreme this morning with a bit of snow at the top, and then today actually with the wind and a bit of sun, it was almost bone dry from the top to the bottom. Quite cold still, but yeah, it was a good stage for me. No mistake, nothing special, just consistent, and yeah, got the job done.
Here we are then, your fastest run today. Jack Moir riding for the Canyon Collective. Jack is back with a 6:53.7, some 3 seconds quicker. Josh, what did you make of this one?
Oh, this was amazing to see. There's a lot of corners. Jack's very good in these super high speed, fast corners. It's interesting to hear Martin say how cold it was, because Jack himself and a lot of other riders really struggled with starting this run with it being so cold. Temperatures were almost under 0 degrees, and it took them a long while for their hands to come around, their forks to come around.
He went back and forth a couple of times with the jacket on and off at the top. I was there, and just trying to conserve as much energy and as much heat as he could, and absolutely it worked for him today. Jack Moir, could he be I don't know, both he and Martin Maes, they're kind of the guys that are going to take the points away from Melamed and Ruud at the tail end of this championship.
And a big part of it, they don't have the pressure of the championship. They're just hunting. They are the hunters this weekend. Martin is hunting as well. He's had a bit of an average start to what we compared to Martin in the past, whereas Richie and Jesse, they're hunting for the championship. They need to conserve. Richie's battling a bit of an injury. Jack is on the offensive, and he is hunting every stage. He wants a stage win. He's got a real opportunity to get top 3, and after this particular stage start to this weekend's round, there's every chance that he can make it happen, but he has to put it together every race this weekend.
You watch Jack Moir, and it's like he's got the back axle of that bike on a string, isn't it? It's just always where he wants it, always just stepping out and just perfectly controlled.
Biggest leverage ratio on the circuit, all knees, all elbows, you name it, he's putting his knees and elbows there, launching down this massive section through here. The speed through there and how rough that actually is incredible. This corner right here is key to this entire climb. Jack went up this like a scalded cat, and it was fantastic to see into the lower woods.
There you are.
Yes, Jack, true story. Go on, mate. Go on, Jack.
This doesn't need your voice twice. But anyway, down into the woods then for Jack Moir. And you can see just how chopped out all these routes are.
And these riders didn't know this. When they came into the woods this morning, it was slippery and it was loose.
Where does he go through this canyon section then?
He pre-jumps the rocks. Stop it. Stop it, Jack. Look at that. Look at him go.
There, but holds it.
I'm getting too excited for this already, but there's a big long section here. This is super high speed, and this second last left-hander really catches you out. Inside, over the rock, whoppa, over this blind crest.
This is very much 2021 Jack Moir back in action, isn't it?
Every time I come across this in particular bridge, I've thought about Jack dislocating his shoulder last year, so fingers crossed we don't see that happening. And this is a fantastic start for the defending champion at this year's round.
This is where the stage finished last year, but now we got this extra bridge. Let's see if he just gets cut out where Martin did. Nah, hangs it out. And then this final left-hand corner before the jump. Over the line.
Uses the fence as a berm, no worries.
Down the line, Jack Moir, your fastest time today with a 6:53.
It was chilly on the fingers and the feet. It was pretty well dry up top, hey? Practice was slushy and rolling super slow, and then it dried up, so I was running real good.
Looking forward to racing tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be hard, but give it the berries, see how we go.
Moir promising to give it the berries. Fastest time today, Martin Maes, Melamed behind him. Ewan Dunno, your teammate Josh, up in 4th place. Reese Werner in 5th. Elliot Heap for Chain Reaction up in 9th as well. Well, thank you very much for watching our coverage of the Pro Stage from EWS Crans-Montana. Don't forget to join us tomorrow for all the race highlights just as soon as we can get them to you. Josh, thanks for your time. Thanks everyone for watching.